This is our first hand for, by the way, welcome back. This is round three, game two. We lost the first one. Our opponent is on Maverick with a black splash. Outside of Bob, we haven't seen why. Speculations are probably Pulse and doubtful of a discard package, but it's always possible. This hand is not very good. Everything requires black except for the Dismember in the top. And if we do the Dismember, we're going to lose the Caracas. Like, if we open up with Caracas, leaving up Dismember, or even playing top, we're going to lose the Caracas going down to one land. So we're going to go ahead and mulligan this. This is our sixth, and this hand is much better. We lose a fetch land to be able to go first turn, either Stoneforge or Bob. Honestly, just because he's got Mother of Ruins, we'd want to play the Bob to try and bait out the swords or path or whichever one he's got. And that way we can play the Mystic, hopefully draw a fourth land, and be able to play Equipped Swing, which would basically put us ahead in the game. Um, he's going to have Pride Mages. What number, we don't know. He saw the Batterskull legit the first game. I don't remember which one. So that's an issue as well. Um, yeah. We'll see which one he's got. He's definitely got removal. He did not come to six with us. So, yeah, moving on. So after we sorted Mom, we made this big mistake where we forgot about Jit. Yes, that is not a second land. That is a Jit. The second land is staring in the front row and going to swing at us next turn. What we have seen so far is we've seen two lands out of him. This is the third one, being the Dryad Arbor. So he's got to have another land, which is extremely possible. Maverick lists tend to run a few lands. A few less than they probably should, simply because they have access to a lot of one-drops and one-drop mana producers. So, I mean, it's a gamble, but it was something that I completely overlooked and was punished harshly for. This is the first way we're punished. We've already taken 2 damage. Had we played the Jit the turn before, the Knight would be in play. We would have a land on 2 lands on the top of our deck, being Bog and Horizon Canopy. By the way, they are misordered. They should be in order of Bog, then Horizon Canopy, so we draw the Horizon Canopy. Instead, I ordered them reverse of that, so if I do not top, we just lose the Knight's ability to instantly take out the graveyard. Um, as you start drawing more of your infinite one-of lands and low-count lands, Knight's utility starts dropping more and more, and she becomes more and more of a beater. This Inquisition steals the Knight and leaves us staring down 2 damage a turn and 2 cards in hand. So, I mean, it's the first of the punishments. This is the second way. That Scavenging Ooze would have been able to have just been drawn naturally. We would have been able to play the Horizon Canopy and top, and if need be, draw a top. Or we could have just looked with the top, played the Horizon Canopy. So we're kind of running a turn behind. And also having the Knight in play would have meant that we would have been able to sacrifice the plains to be able to go get a green source, instead of forcing ourselves to get rid of the top in order to do it. His Bob is the second punishment. We don't have the ability to really interact with it. We know that there's 2 lands on top of our deck, or 1 land on top of our deck, and we're a little bothered by that because we don't have a way to shuffle our deck. The Knight would have been able to shuffle the deck and hopefully have found a sword to dismember, Pulse, just a way to kind of interact with that Bob. So this is the second punishment. Let me rewind just a tad bit so you can see where I screwed this up. These are our choices with top, and the order that we're supposed to put them back, because we need the Pulse for next turn to be able to deal with the Bob so we're not buried in card advantage. Uh, Unfortunately, we remember the first thing, put the Bog on the bottom, and proceed to, well, I'll just show you. Here goes the Bog, the Pulse, and the Bayou. The reason they went down in that order is simply because I forgot that we were not in upkeep and then we were in main phase. I needed to be able to look a card deeper, which I did, and it wasn't very helpful. And yeah, that pretty much sealed up the game right there. It's another turn before I'm really even active in this thing. The good news is that he still can't swing unless he gets something on his side, but that's going to happen eventually now as he's drawing to a turn. His board right now is pretty much going to dominate all over us, whether we like it or not. We just ate 4 damage from the Bob that we probably should have traded for. That way we could have pulsed his Ooze. Hopefully he uses his Pride Mage on our Diamond, as we have Bayou sitting on top. Unfortunately we didn't. At this point we're so far behind, we should have just traded piece for piece until we clear the board to a point that where we can see everything and kind of come in. I'm assuming Panic must have kind of stuck in because this is definitely played incorrectly. Second Bob pretty much guarantees the game. I'm going to go ahead and cut here. There have been enough misplays at this point that I'm not sure if we can actually keep up with him at all. I don't believe it's possible. He will be drawing 2 cards a turn. We're going to go down to 1 mana next turn to try and even stay in the game. And it's all based on us just not playing the JIT. Alright, that's all we got for this one. I will see you all again later. Have a good one.